EA Sports, within the game.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Miami Dolphins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Here's the punter, Thomas Morstead, to get this one started. And off we go from Tampa. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, set.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he's got some space here. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
18 Rattler, 18 Rattler.
Back to throw. Patterson. They'll swing this out to Fournette. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be second down. There you go, Charles. His first NFL pass, and it goes for a completion.
And you know that they thought about this before even calling the play, right? Let's get him his first completion. Let's get it out of the way because we expect bigger things from him going forward, but take care of the small stuff first.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down.
Trap 50, trap 50. Buffalo 18, 18, Pioneer.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Up the gut, Fournette. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. First and goal. A good chance for our first touchdown of the new season. They'll go with the keeper. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bucs are on the board here first in the season opener. Extra point up and good by Succop. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
Now Wilson on first down.
This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1. A lot more to go. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They go play action with Wilson.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely frees up your guys elsewhere. Play action. It's Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And the Buccaneers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 53 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. On the tackle there, Zach Sealer out of Ferris State.
Let's go now.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go. Here we go.
2nd and 6.
Again, it's Fournette. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will extend their lead even further.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use, than that. And one One play, 75 yards in zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off Byron Jones.
And the Dolphins are going to get it back here just past the 35.
That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point. His first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Slot man moves right. On second down, Jacobs. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Try to run for it with Jacobs.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they do finally get him at the 12.
70 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
And you hear it all the time, but that's one of the dangers of the blitz. You get past that first wave, nobody else is there.
And when teams blitz, what they're trying to do is make you lose your poise, lose your timing and your tempo. But when you hold it together, you can really hurt them the other way, getting past that first wave.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Over the middle, complete. It's Jacobs. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. Wilson. His pass caught at the 4. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Touchdown, Dolphins.
Jalen Waddle
from 4 yards out.
And the Dolphins' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 14-10. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
This one fielded at the 5. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. This is caught by Evans. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A very solid gain of 27.
A nice completion there for the first down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week one. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game has his team right to the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day one.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Dumps it off to Fournette. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
A nice throw right there, and these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. And I'd imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you.
And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Bucs will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point put through by Succop. And it's now 17-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
They go play action now. Wilson on the run. He'll let this go deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Play action. Now Wilson. And it's intercepted.
And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Off play action. Patterson.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Well, holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half, those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. The 2 F's for a rookie quarterback.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Wilson down around his goal line. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. 30, 10, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. So from back deep, deep in their home territory, all the way into the end zone. You think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also show that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly, but here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they'd better take advantage of it because otherwise, if they end up losing by 1 score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away.
Ready? Ready.
Operating from the gun, Patterson. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Second and 10, third quarter of the season opener.
Wilson.
And intercepted. Wilson's third of the game. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr.
And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Extra point try now for Succop. And that one gives him a 3-point lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And some room to maneuver.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 98 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Liam Eichenberg, 2nd-round pick in 2021 from Notre Dame, the guilty party.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a 2nd down here. They will run the draw with Jacobs, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. On 3rd down, Wilson. And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Josh Jacobs taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the third quarter.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will make this a 4-point game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
This one fielded at the 5. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Patterson. And he completes this to Russell Gage. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
96 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Patterson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Patterson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Succop's kick is good. And with that last field goal, that puts him now at 300 made on his career, and that is something to celebrate.
And that puts him in the top 30 all time. So he's really made a mark, and he's got plenty of life left in that leg, that's for sure.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this out to the 25.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, right, what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. Here's Wilson. He finds his man complete. It's Jacobs.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Running straight ahead. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Bucs use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the 4th.
They'll look to throw, and it is incomplete, so they can't convert for 2. And now the lead stays at 5. The Bucs ready for the kickoff, and here we go. It's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Jacobs with a carry on first down as he'll get about 3 there before he's taken down.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. On 2nd and 7, Wilson, and his throw's going to be incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like that there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's throwing it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down.
Got a man. It's Waddle complete. And he will have a Dolphins first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
It's a gain of 13, and how about that? They're able to convert on 4th and 10. A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And now all of a sudden, the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit, because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
Back to the running game with Jacobs. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Throwing now is Wilson. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
What an outstanding drive right there to take the lead, and also, Charles, didn't leave their opposition with a whole lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, I like the way that you're viewing this because they did a tremendous job to put themselves in a position to win, but they can't celebrate just yet. They've got to clamp down on any big plays and force them to use up those timeouts without making any headway.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And brought in by Braid. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
He's going to let it fly.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker.
Picked by Ronnie Harrison.
And the Dolphins are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game. Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for Miami, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears.